Hi there, I'm Patrick McGrady, the Mayor of Aberdeen, and I'm coming to you today with an update on the petition drive to bring to referendum the charter amendments passed by the Aberdeen City Council on May 8, 2017. To get up to date on the changes made and how we got to here, you can go to www.aberdeenpetition.com. First, let me say how proud I am of the response from our community to push to bring this charter amendment to referendum. Community involvement is the only way that we can achieve the kinds of changes that we want to see in Aberdeen, to make Aberdeen a place where people love to live, to build a stronger community that's attractive to families and businesses. Almost universally, when talking about this petition, the response I got from people was surprise that it's legal to change the powers of the elected mayor and council between elections, and that this council would take these steps without asking the voters to approve. State law establishes how these kinds of changes are to be made and how a referendum process would work. Specifically, when a charter amendment is adopted by a simple majority vote, the voters of the town or city have 40 days to collect signatures equal in number to 20% of the registered voters of the town or city. If these signatures are collected and validated by the City Board of Elections, then the petition is deemed successful and the issue is brought to the voters by referendum. The voters get to have a say in whether or not the changes take effect. In Aberdeen's case, that means 20% of about 10,000 registered voters need to sign the petition. This is a very high hurdle to achieve on any issue. This was something that I felt obligated to attempt, given that I was elected to stand up for the voters of Aberdeen. By the 40th day after the signing of the document, of the approval of the document, June 17, 2017, I had received just about 1,178 petitions signed and returned to me, mailed to my house, dropped off on my front porch, at my office, and at City Hall. That's just about 30 per day. Some of these, of course, will not be valid registered voters for Aberdeen. Some folks who live outside of town limits signed, and some people who haven't registered to vote yet in Aberdeen signed too. This is a stack of photocopies of the original petition signatures. This is an impressive stack. These are Aberdeen voters. This is your voice being heard, Aberdeen. Good work. To everybody who signed the petition, thank you. Thank you to all of those who circulated the petition in your neighborhood. And thank you to all of those who called me and wished me well on the effort. On Saturday, June 17th, I mailed the petitions to City Hall at about 4:45 p.m. After I submitted the originals, another 93 or so came in. That's about a total of 1,271 signatures. So this is short of the legal requirement of 1,990. So this issue will not be placed on the ballot at this time. The charter amendment, as adopted by 3 members of the council on May 8th, will take effect June 27, 2017. However, this number of signatures represents a huge portion of the voters in Aberdeen elections. In 2015, when I was elected, with a total number of 602 votes, only 1,788 votes were cast for mayor. In that same election, the city council candidate who got the most votes received 899 votes. That number of signatures, 271, is impressive to me because compared to voting, it's hard work. People had to get the petition, sign the petition, and return the petition. The intensity of support for this referendum effort is impressive. So, of the people who voted in the last Aberdeen municipal election, that is 1,799 voters, 1,271 signed and returned this petition. That's a number of signers equal to 70.65% of the number of voters who voted in the last Aberdeen election. That's more than 2 times the number that voted for me. This issue goes beyond support for me as the mayor or support for the council. It's bad policy to change the form of government between elections, and the Aberdeen voters understand that. This number of signatures, 1,271, is almost 1.5 times the number that voted for the highest vote-getting council candidate. It's clear that the voters of Aberdeen want to have a say in these kinds of changes to the city charter. It's clear that the voters of Aberdeen have a problem with a simple majority of the City Council changing the form of government between elections. I look forward to working with the City Council to fix the action that was taken on May the 8th. Going through this referendum process has also made me aware of a problem that I promised to fix. The process for filing a petition to referendum is confusing, murky, and requires legal expertise to understand. When this process started, it took me the first 10 days after May 8th, when the Council adopted the Charter Amendment, to put together a petition in a format that would be legally permitted. This delay is unacceptable for future petitioners of the city government. I promise that the city will produce a template for future petition efforts. It's a fundamental right of the voters of Aberdeen to be able to petition the government, and it's crucial that the city government makes the process transparent and clear. We will get this done. On another front, I plan to lobby our state legislature to change state law to permit municipalities to locally control the process of referendums and changes to the form of government. State law requires a referendum for changes to the state constitution, and county law requires a referendum to change the county charter. It's unreasonable that the kinds of changes made to the form of government that were adopted by the City Council on May 8th can be done without a referendum. And if we have to change state law to prevent these kinds of things happening to the other 150 plus towns in Maryland, then that's what we'll do. As always, you can call me on my cell phone anytime at 410-357-1234. So thanks again to all of you who supported the petition effort, and have a beautiful day.